Hey there, guys. This is ABC News Highlights, your favorite news update show where we bring you up to speed on all the latest happenings in the country. My name is Nana Kwame Bobe.
My name is Golda Abba-Day.
And we'll move on to our first story, which is quite unfortunate. Singer Wendy Shay has been involved in a car accident, and according to witnesses, it occurred some few minutes after midnight on Sunday, September 10th, 2023, on the ACP Estate and Kwabena stretch. So when the news started blowing up on Twitter, especially, a lot of people are wondering, what is the state of the singer? Is it really that serious? And I think to a lot of people like, is this another Ebony situation? So a lot of people were worried and people started making comparisons. But then according to an eyewitness, this is how the accident occurred. So the artist collided with a tipper truck loaded with sand, which was facing her direction. And after she attempted to evade the truck, she entered a gutter, which if not for that gutter, her car is said to would have been toppled over. So the car would have toppled over and probably the situation would have been way worse. But there's not been any new updates on the current health state of the singer. But then she's in the hospital, and before she was taken to the hospital, eyewitness could confirm that she could talk. She was just in a little bit of pain, or a lot of pain, because her head hit the dashboard. But then according to eyewitnesses, it wasn't anything too severe for a lot of people to start making way scary pronouncements on her life. So yes, we are wishing her all the best and speedy recovery. Hope she's surrounded by love and light.
Yes, we do. Speedy recovery, Miss Shay. Now on to our next story. So deadly ammonium nitrate blasts rocks on quarry in Western Region's Shamar district. So 4 bodies have been retrieved and many are still missing. 4 dead bodies have so far been retrieved from the site of the explosion at Antoaboso in the Shamar district of the Western Region. Officials from the National Disaster Management say that 22 persons were at the site when the explosion occurred. So the 4 bodies retrieved included 3 Ghanaians and a foreigner. 5 persons who are injured are currently receiving treatment at the hospital. And the thing with this story is that the Minerals Commission are saying that they visited the site upon establishment and told them that they didn't have the proper authority to do what they are doing, so they should get the proper licensing. But I think that they didn't do that, and this has cost lives and property.
It's really sad. Like, I think constantly the citizens ask that state institutions do their bit, especially when there are sad cases like this, to always make sure that are checking and giving license to people that are right in their right space and place to operate. So it's unfortunate when the state institution seems to have done their bit, but citizens rather do not do their bit. I mean, it's a 50-50 thingy. If they are doing their part, I think we must do our part to also ensure that there is a smooth development for the nation. We can't just expect them to do their bit and we are just there with no sense of responsibility and accountability. But it's really, really sad, and I think our condolences to the families of the lost persons, and yeah, it's really, really sad.
Yeah, investigations are underway. Hopefully they give us concrete results or a report on why that happened.
And when they do, we'll also let you know. And moving on to our next story. So tertiary institutions may begin using entrance exams because of the exam malpractices that have escalated in the last number of years. And this is pronounced or made public by Deputy Ranking Member on Parliament's Education Committee, Dr. Clement Apak. I hope I got the name right. So according to him, the latest WAEC information on the fact that there's an escalating level of exam malpractices in our senior high schools, he thinks to filter students, universities may have to now use entrance exams.
Please let me understand the thought process. So I go to senior high school for it's 3 years now, right? The 4 is over. 3 years, I study hard, I pass, and you're going to tell me that because someone decided that they will copy after I have passed, then I deserve to, automatically be in the school. I should now go and write an entrance exam.
Yes, yes, but then I think WAEC's allegations go beyond just some students indulging in exam malpractices. So according to WAEC, some schools have devise grand schemes for cheating at the examination centers and say that every student is charged 500 to 1,000 Ghana students in some schools to provide them with what we know as apport to be able
Oh,
to
so they're
pass.
already aware of what's going to
Exactly,
happen.
exactly. And some schools are also openly hostile to WAEC examination monitoring tactics and
Oh, okay, that
personnel.
would have prevented. Okay.
Exactly. So now they've even had to call police in sometimes because of how hostile it gets.
Okay, well then I do get that, because I was about to ask, can't they, find a better way of monitoring to determine that, okay, which people in this school did not copy, and hence when their results come out, they can go straight, because I think it would be very unfair to people who put in the work to have to now win.
I agree, and I still think there's more to be done. GES should get it. Like, okay, fine. So WAEC is take it. WAEC cannot only work to ensure that exam malpractices would go away or would escalate. Why are we not putting in measures to punish schools
That do that rather
that do
than,
that,
yes,
headmasters that do that? Why are we not sacking them? Why are we not expecting more from our schools? Because to immediately say let universities do entrance
Start, yeah,
exams is
yeah,
to take
stressful.
responsibility away from the high school
Yeah.
sector and say, okay, now tertiary, you do your
Yeah,
bit.
shoulder that burden.
Exactly,
Yes,
shoulder that
yes.
burden and make sure that
Yes.
the students that get into your school are really smart and quality as you'd want them to be. I think you're right. It's not very fair.
It is not. On to our last story for the day. So, my government has taken the boldest initiative to fight corruption since independence. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo says his government has waged the strongest of fights against corruption since Ghana attained independence. According to the president, his government has, done well. They have taken initiatives against the menace, that is, corruption. He insisted in a bold statement at the Ghana Bar Conference at the University of Cape Coast on Monday, September 11th. He said he has not shielded any of his appointees accused of any wrongdoing. And I'm quoting, "I accept to speak here in order to take advantage to once again place the government's record on corruption for public scrutiny. It will show that my government has taken arguably the boldest decision since Ghana attained independence nearly 66 years ago to reform and strengthen institutions to tackle corruption in the public sector." He said, charity, they say, begins at home. And that is why, so far, any allegations leveled against any of my appointees have been investigated by independent bodies such as SHRAJ, the CID, and in some cases by Parliament itself. It is not my job to clear or convict any person accused of wrongdoing or engaging in acts of corruption. That is the job of the courts and the law enforcement agencies. So the president says his government has done, the best when it comes to tackling corruption since independence.
Let us know what you think, people.
Do let us know what you think. This has been ABC Highlights. My name is Golda Abatai.
And my name is Nana Kwame Brobe. Do not forget to log on to abcnewsgh.com for your latest news in governance, politics, and sports. And also go to our social media platforms that is
ABC
ABC
News
News GH
GH_.
_. Exactly. See you.